Hello, guys. This is Josiah again from Each One, Teach One. Today is going to be a special edition. It's a continuation of what is going on in America. We've had part two, and we're going to do part three today. And with this, I am reminding you to continue to wear your mask, wash your hands, sanitize, and remain hygienic as always. That's the only way we can keep the pandemic at bay. So don't underestimate this pandemic and don't think it's all over just because we had the riots all over the place. I need you to understand the seriousness of this and take measures to protect yourself. When you protect yourself, you protect other people. Moving forward. So we talked about what's going on in America. We identified the drivers. The major driver is the pandemic itself, coronavirus. The business name is COVID-19. And we know it is an eye opener, and a lot of us are quite aware of the situation. And I like anyone that is interested to get on board here, so we can talk about the economic aspect of the COVID-19 coronavirus. We'll also address other issues related to what people are doing right now and what we should be doing. And we also talk about the YouTubers or vloggers or those people that are a greater part of the social media economy or social media finance. Some would like to put it that way. So I had a chance to meet a very important person, and I'm not going to say their name, and I'm just going to tell you guys what this person is working on. This person realized the time and season how they play into innovation and technology. And this person is working so hard to expand the whole idea of We Buy Black, the website, the whole idea. He got a business perspective of it, and at the same time, he's focusing on the poor people who will benefit from this. And he wanted to focus on the fact that the poor people, there are many of them, so there's a need to bring the poor people to the middle class. So if you can find a way to bring the poor people to the middle class and figure out how to make them create wealth for them, then it will be a very positive idea. It will be a very wonderful approach to it will be a niche and a business model that people need to emulate. So the idea is very simple. You have a lot of poor people, and there's 99.9999%. These are poor people, and you have 0.0001% of the rich people, and those control the resources of the earth, the resources of the world. So with that being said, if somebody can find a paradigm that caters to the poor while advancing their status to something desirable, because we believe that every human being wants to change their status or do better. We believe that it's a God-given right, because when we were born, from baby being a baby, we grow. It's a natural process. You're gonna have to grow. Okay. Now we're all growing, and we want something new, something different, regardless of what your lazy or your non-conforming ways tells you to do, based on the environment you find yourself or anything else. So when I use lazy, I'm trying to say more or less in a very inactive state or sedentary state. That's what I'm referring to. I'm not saying that an individual is not the kind that works or try to do anything to better themselves. So here is all positive what we're trying to say. So I don't want to detour too much. So this person here has a way of promoting, of bringing marketing to a different level, bringing the exposure of black businesses, to be precise, or any business coming out of the minority, bringing it to where it need to be. As much as the black people need to find their own level, just like water finds its level, there's still a need to have allies. These are people that are friends, that promotes the interests that we share with them. So it is important to respect these allies, whether it's from east or from west. But the most important thing is to understand that there's a need to preserve oneself. There's no sin against preserving oneself. So it's been from the time immemorial, is being aware of life, aware of survival for many groups and people. So finding a way to spend amongst your own kind is not a bad thing. And recognizing that Now is very timely, and not just seasonal, is very timely because on July 7th, there's going to be a show of purchasing power. It's going to be a flex of the strength, the economic strength that the black people have is going to be demonstrated. So anybody that come up with a resounding idea will get funded pretty much. If you know how to, present your case, you will be funded because when millions of people are no longer spending, recognizing that the value is important, the value that gets attached to your expenditure is very important. It carries a lot of weight. So you cannot spend where it is now valued. You can't put your money where what you stand for is not respected or valued in any way, shape, or form. So it's important to recognize what's going on, the changes that's happening, this sudden change that just came up is very timely. You have to understand the initial idea, the purpose was for blacks to come to America or other part of the West during the period where the industrialization was discovered. The blacks were the products of the first industrial revolution. They worked the fields and did everything in production of sugar, which powered the industrial age. So the sugar was a very good substance that they used to fuel people's mind as to receiving the food the brand needs in order for them to continue working odd hours and long hours. So this person that I talked about has it worked out. He has the system worked out, and this person is looking for the right talent, and he understands that it is the people that have to build the system, not somebody under the veil of a corporation building a system for people to use. So it has to be cooperation, meaning even if you're a corporation, there's a way you can contribute to build that social capitalism which caters for the weak or the poor. So that's very important. Capitalism is a good thing, but we've seen what capitalism has done when it's not checked, when it goes into science, when it goes into technology, it builds non-sustainable systems as we see today with what's happening in immune therapy systems, where they build vaccines to be able to check the diseases. This has been happening from years back, where you weaken the cells of a particular disease and you plant it into the ecosystem of human body, where in its weak state is not as strong as it would normally be, then the body antigens will now react and subdue it and captivate it. So that's the whole idea. I call that a placebo idea, experience in solving problems, and that permeates into our system today. And science is has a shadow that cloaks it, and that shadow is capitalism or money. So the money can change the result in a scientific world, and the money might not change the result in a qualitative way, where the scientists will not change what they are writing, but it will change the mind, unbiased mind, to see other reasons which might not be needed to carry out the research work. So these are some of the ways, the subtle ways that science become unsustainable because of the cloaking mechanism that the influences from finance has on it. So it changes people's mind and it changes the scientist's mind, and the ingenuity could be clouded. Ingenuity could be clouded with nonsensical thoughts, processes, and ideas that stems from monopoly or trying to control and have excessive control over people, as we've seen lately, where the vaccines is being secretly automated in various nations, and key individuals have pushed it to decimate populations or bring about decrement in population of nations. But we do know that the world itself is an ecosystem in a galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy. So therefore, the universe has a way of taking and giving. That's why you have seasons and you have climates, you have weather that changes by the season. So it has a way, as much as we have a lot of people being born today, there's still people that die or are dying today. So as you can see, there's a mechanism. But when science and technology forces the hand of nature, is devastating, as we see today. When you try to change what is naturally existing, and you try to come up with another thing, concoct a solution in a culture, in a lab, just because you think you can do it, there are limitations to what we can do. Yes, there is no limitation to what we can imagine, but in doing it, that's in different reality. We have to pay attention to the changes we bring about in the dynamic universe. Yes, we can impart it. However, we have to be very careful because every leap we make in life marks an epoch in human history. So it's up to us to make it count by making it positive or make it negative. Like you've seen the reaction we're getting lately because of George Floyd death. The George Floyd's death is not the first in all. There have been many, but all of a sudden this came up because people are waking up and rising up. Doesn't matter the ethnic background. What is wrong is wrong. So as you can see, there was a demonstration all across the world over one man, and that's the reason for that. The reason for that is that nobody deserves to die while many others watch for no reason except for the fact maybe they're hungry, they needed food, or they are mentally ill, or something wrong with them, or alleged accusation does not warrant the death of a man. Okay, it doesn't matter, any life. So it's for humanity. We have to be careful and watch out that we don't falter. Now, moving forward to the next topic. So we have this brother building this amazing system, which allows us to put all the businesses owned by blacks in a place, a marketplace, or a place where everybody can congregate and get whatever resource that they need. And notice the identify the businesses that are doing specific things. Have different silos and buckets for specific businesses in tech, maybe in hospitality, in restaurant businesses and all of that, in medicine and pharmaceuticals and all of that. Identify them and find a way to use them to uplift the people and create job opportunities. Market this to a large extent where every individual that's a part of the ecosystem can make money. So people have thought about this and figured it out. So this video here is to impress upon you the need to put your money where it is required, where it is needed the most. Okay, so when the request comes up for you to invest in opportunities that can strengthen your group, you should do that. You should support that. It's very, very important that you do so. Don't say, "Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know, man." Yeah, if you don't know, man, where you gonna put your money? Where the people don't care about you, don't value you at all in any case. So it's time to make a statement, and some of the statement that was gonna be made is by building various platforms that accommodate black people. And if you go to many other platforms, you will find that you cannot find any black person. But once you type, "I'm looking for minorities," and specify it, you will see they pop up like mushrooms. Why are they cloaked or covered? Or why are the opportunities denied of them? Just because they're blacks. So a friend of mine went on some of these platforms and they posted and they identify what they're looking for: minority or black or whatever, minority black or whatever. So they were flagged and they were told that they were discriminating, excluding other groups. That's what they were told. Now, I understand where they're coming from. However, it's never favored the group that's being kept down. So as you can see, there's a need for the group that's been kept down to build their platform. So that way they can grow eternally. So there's no need for a dollar to only live in a black community for 6 hours, while a dollar lasts over 2 years in say the eastern community or group from over there or other groups. But the black community, a dollar lives only 6 years. The lifespan of a dollar in the black community is only 6 hours. That's a shame. We should change that. Okay. So WeBuyBlack.com is good and excellent. Inclusion.com is good and excellent. But we need to find a way to monetize this thing so that we can have that economic power that we need. So when we make the statement, it will be a financial consequence for those that begrudge us and those that want to shoot us down like animals. So the point I'm making here is it can never be any clearer that the call is for you to come up with interesting solutions to customer service for the Black community. Customer service is needed for the Black community. If you can write a book on customer service, I talked about this before and I'm still talking about it right now. I will buy that book. That's how important it is. A lot of Black businesses need these books. A lot of them need to understand how to run an effective business with excellent customer service in a Black community. Okay, so because the reason for this is because we've been working in contemporary economies and we've been a part of those incomes. Now, if we create another shift in paradigm, which in this case will be one that involves us with all these experiences we've had, there should be a standard, a normal way to do it. Different groups are defined by culture and the values that they have. Don't let nobody fool you. These values are not the same regardless. You have to understand that when you talk about Black communities, the number of wealthy people are not that high, and the number of poor people might be higher. So in that case, the dynamic shifts. So you have to know how to deal with that situation. You have to know how to address those groups. That is a group in a group, or a tribe in a group, if you will. So these are important subjects, and we have to also work with the influencers or the YouTubers in getting them, bringing them in to understand that individual income is good. However, working as a coalition, as a group, in understanding the dynamics in economy, modern economy, where social media become a means of creating wealth and also a means of pushing culture to the forefront. So these two things, we have to bridge the gap between them, create a pipeline between the root and the branches. That's the purpose. So the change in America is going to bring about innovation, and it's going to bring about a group of people recognizing the need for them to build and preserve theirs. Okay? We as a people have been through a lot, whether you've been here 400 years ago or you've been here 30 or 35 years. Whether you've been here, you came here 400 years ago, or you've been here 30, 35, or 50 or 100 years, it's the same situation, never changed. You are denied opportunities. Your last name always gets a folder 13. If you don't know, I'm letting you know. Now, based on how your name sound, is how the opportunity and the doors open for you. And you can argue that all you want, but that's a fact. Okay, the more qualified you are, the more opportunities get denied of you as well. And it's just by special mightiness that some of us get the opportunities that we get and have these promises, that excellent promises that many never get in a lifetime. So we have to count our blessings and be happy for what we got, and we have to keep pushing, and we have to recognize that we're always going to have poor people on the planet. But what can we do about that? How do we bring them in and have them share in the new economy that's coming? How do we do that? We have to create marketplaces. We have to train in the new skills. We have to train in coding development, train in the cloud systems, train in how people will get the cloud concept. There's a lot of opportunities out there. Train in data science, artificial intelligence to be precise, and focusing on how to use this information to better one's life. In AI, there's not much representation of the Black people, so most of the stuff that's out there will identify East and West, but it will not identify the people of African descent as well, because there's not a lot of the programmers dealing with that area. So we, as a people, will continue to evolve. And how we evolve in this age will determine what happens moving forward, because we are moving into a great age where everything will be talking. We have some kind of smartness or intelligence on them. So it's called digital era. We need to be a part of it. Now, one of the ways to do it is to train our young ones, our youths, whatever they are, to be a part of this action. Okay, you don't want to sit down and wait for somebody, external person or outside influence to tell you what you need to do. You need to study. There's Google there. Invest your time in teaching yourself. Those who teach themselves will discipline themselves. Those who can discipline themselves can teach themselves. And those who understand that their information is important and know how to control it will control their future. These are facts. Most nations, powerful nations, they trade in on intelligence. Intelligence is the tool, the most prized tools that they trade in. They trade in intelligence, they buy and sell intelligence as they see fit. And any place that they want to move in, they will gather intelligence in that place before they move in. Before the boots hits the ground, there's already eyes in the sky. Okay? So always remember that. So for a group of people like us, we need to protect our information, okay? Protect your information, make your privacy private. Make your privacy private. Make your data secure by using the right tools. I have been trying as much as I can to take the social ills and connect them with the technology as a solution. It is very difficult, but I keep trying to do that. The need to keep your data secure requires that you use softwares that does that. And I have been trying to put out videos on penetration testing for mobile applications. I've done one already where I ran them and I've shown the result. I will continue doing those very soon. I will teach you how to install the mobile itself like I've done in the past. Now, in order to wrap this video up, I will go ahead and tell you exactly what will be required of you. What will be required of you is for you to study in the technology of today, get involved, encourage people around you to do the same thing. Help us build capacity. We have a class in the cloud. It's a free class, and we need the females to take part in this class. I'll post the link like I've done before. If you really need to be a part of it, reach out to us. We'd like to thank Lockdown LLC for supporting Each One Teach One. Each One Teach One, as you guys well know, we bridge the gap between the mentors and mentees in the continent. We teach, educate, train, and advise the teams, the teens and the youths in the continent. We also offer gainful employment to them from time to time. So if you want to support, reach out to us. We don't bite. We're here to do the best that we can so that we can be a part of the era that is to come and impact, try to impart you with some information, vital information that will, possibly change your life. Okay. Thank you guys again for streaming live with me and paying attention to some of the stuff that I have to say. If you have a better idea of what we can do, let me know. And we've been very busy, so I haven't been doing so much with the interviews as planned, but I'll resume with the interviews as soon as possible. Please bear with me or bear with us as we go through this process. It's an arduous process, but we need to come up with the product that you will love. Thank you guys again. And if you're a new subscriber, I thank you. Just like and share. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. What are you waiting for? Just, push the button. And also, remember the bell, notification bell, and click on it so that whenever I'm doing one of these deliveries, you will be the first to get it. Thank you guys, and have a nice day. On Each One Teach One, I'm signing off. Take care.